Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Week 44, Day 1. It is a red day, up to the double fours. So, today we are going to be doing a pretty standard damage source that we've done a couple times. Wow, Dwarf Team only won once. Maybe it's time to finally retire it. That is not a lot of wins, that is for sure. I'm really curious how this one will work with the Widow Queen tomorrow. So I'll find out that very soon. It's probably going to be horrible, but it's worth a shot to see what will happen. But anyways, let's get into our battles now. As I mentioned, we're going to be, well, not specifically what I mentioned, but we're going to be using Alchemist, Queen Titania, Infernus, and Elemagrim. Basically, we're going to go Alchemist into Infernus, go crazy from there, and then win. That is the game plan, and that is what we're going to be doing. So, yeah, pretty much. Get a Firestorm, get everything rolling, and yeah, we will be good to go pretty quickly on this team. So, let's get into it then. Hello, Calvera. Hello, Lampard. Hello, Cody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, right off the bat, we get a bunch of purples. Very nice. Already full Queen Titania. Only problem is we don't have the reds for it yet, so can't do that. Speaking about reds, I gotta take these reds so that we can get Alchemist going, because I need that in order to get our Infernus going, and that's important because we need those kills. Looking for a red amount. There it is. We only have 13. It's enough, though. Kind of. Let's see. I hate it that he doesn't show the color on him. Keep like clicking on him trying to get it to show. Anyways, we got Fairy Fire, so we'll just go throw that down. Pretty much already dead. Just need to get that Queen Titania in. He's gonna get that. He's not Fairy Fired on it because he has resistance. And he's about to get a heal on the weakest. So the thing that's weakest is Fairy Fired, so it's still gonna die. So that's not too big a deal. All we have to do is get this thing to full mana. The only problem is the only way we can get the full mana undoes our alignment, which I don't want to do. So I think I might just go for a blank Queen Titania here. Oh! I forgot the boost ratio. I thought that wasn't enough damage that entire time. Well, never mind. That's that. Well, that went quick. And that's why we used it in the first place. Nice heavy Queen Titania poke. Not even a poke. I keep forgetting. She has a 4 times boost ratio based on the amount of red enemies and allies. So on a red day, we are doing 16 additional damage, assuming they have no reds. And of course, if they have every single red they have is just 1 additional that we get on top of that. Okay, so here's a team that pretty much everyone loves to use, including myself. It's the Lord Ironbeard, Lady Ironbeard, Penguin, and Highforge. It's one of the more annoying things, though apparently everyone's been winning against it, so hopefully we can too. Because it's only gotten 1 win out of 13 battles, our defend team, of this exact same defend team. So maybe it's not that good anymore. Let's see. That or everyone kind of realized what some of the better counters are at this point, I guess. Could be that too. Because we don't really struggle that much with it anymore either. Go through that. As I say that, we're probably going to lose to it today. But we should be good. I'll go through an Alchemist on something. I see the yellow there. I want to get rid of these purples though. Then again, it's one of the main colors we need, but I already clicked it, so I can't undo that. So we'll just go move that. I'm going to take another extra turn just because we can. And should be good to go. Oh wait, did we not Fairy Fire everything yet? No, we have not. I'm tempted to take that red because of it, because we don't have 13, so we might as well just go for it. I did not Fairy Fire the Penguin. I still need that, but oh well. Out of everything on this team, the Penguin is the least threatening. So the only reason the Penguin's even in there on the first place is because it needs it for the boost ratio for these two. Or not the boost ratio, but it gives both of these two troops, every blue on the team, +5 to all stats. And it's done to these so that they can one-shot the enemy. Anyways, let's go and, do we get an No, we don't have extra turn. I was going to say, do we need an Alchemist here or not? No, we do not. So let's go through a Queen Titania. And, okay, wow. I keep underestimating how much damage that is. That is... that is just insane. With 50% combined with Burn, combined with, yeah, with the Fairy Fire 50%, with the boost ratio from all the reds, and then just the burn on top of that from Infernus. That is a lot of damage. Here's the same thing, oddly, with a Deep Borer. I've never actually seen it ran with a Deep Borer before. That's technically weaker than what we just faced, but then again, you could get a really lucky Deep Borer into Ironbeard, and then the Ironbeard just destroys us, so I guess we have to watch out for that. One of the whole reasons why I'm even using this team in the first place, if any of you are curious, is because with teams like this, we need to rush our damage before they ever really get going. And in order to do that, we need something that can go quickly. So we have an Alchemist up here that's going to be able to get us going pretty much right off the bat whenever we start the battle. So that's the whole reason for basically the team that we're using here. Of course, we could really use just about anything that's really high damage output, but having like one of those really easy mana generators just works super easy with Alchemist. And of course, Infernus is just super overpowered right now. Well, not overpowered, but you know, he's really high damage, and it just works out. Element Grim we don't even really need here. The whole team is just Alchemist, Queen Titania, and Furnace. Also, hello the rest of the people. Hello Dakota. Hello Pedro. Hello War. Hello Dawn. Hello Marcelo. Hello Bunny Killer. Hello Sea Dog. Hello Traylin. Hello Mystic. Hello Tim. And hello everyone who never actually says hi in chat, because I never really say hi to you guys that often. Hi to you too. Well, let's go and take the red down. I know some people just listen on the backgrounds, but there are quite a few viewers that we normally have that never post ever, that I never say hi to. But yes, hello to you too. We'll go and convert this, I guess. We have blue alignment. Never mind, we're just gonna go for that. Hello, Questor! What do we even need here? Go for the skull? I'm tempted to take the skull, because that means he doesn't take a skull, which won't really make that big of a difference. You know what? I kind of want him taking a skull, so we're gonna take this. Go for the green. Okay, that worked out. And I'm probably gonna ruin him from taking a skull there, but oh well. Queen Titania, can we get you in? Everything's fairy fired, but I'd rather go for Alchemist at this point, so we'll go get that. That gives us our extra turn right there. He doesn't ruin it. Perfect. And now we just Queen Titania into Infernus, or Infernus into Queen Titania. I guess Infernus first, since we don't have enough reds. And now we Queen Titania, and that's pretty much wipe. And whatever's not killed, I know that's definitely dead. Yeah. Like, she wouldn't one-shot the entire team. Okay. There we go. Pretty smooth battle so far. Nothing has really come in that's thrown us off yet. Same thing again, except this time with a gate. They're all using the exact same team, except with a different troop here. We had the Penguin variant, we have the Deep Borer variant, and now we have the Dwarven Gate variant. Not quite sure what else people are going to run, but wow, there's definitely quite a few variants out there, that is for sure. Anyways, well, we'll take it out again. Same team, just a different fourth troop. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I did use it initially, but I found it to be really bad after I started actually facing it myself. I was like, oh, yeah, wait, never mind. I need to stop using this one because it's actually not that good. Out of all the combinations with it, I do have to say the Dwarven Gate one is one of the worst. At least against AoE damages and stuff. I guess against single targets, there are some instances where it might be good against on this team composition. But more often than not, I wouldn't really bother with it. Not for Guild Wars and stuff. Let's see. What do we need to move around? I can't get an Alchemist here. I can't even try setting up for an Alchemist, I don't believe. And none of the manas I can take are really core manas I need. I don't want to take reds because I need them on the board. I need to try doing something that aligns our yellow, so we'll do that. And that doesn't help us. I guess we'll just take a skull, take it over here just so all the colors are clumped next to yellows. And still not enough, and he takes the yellow away from us. He's going to do triple damage to us. I don't believe that's enough for him to kill because he doesn't have a penguin. So we should be okay. We'll just go move that down. So many yellows here. We can't use them, though. I guess we could do it for a blue. That gives us barely anything. We could use it for a yellow. I mean, for a green. Also does almost nothing. I guess we just take a skull. Come on, Alchemist. Do something before you die. We can almost get it. There we go. Okay, let's go get this on green. Finally, right at the last possible moment. Though, the only bad thing here is that's not going to be enough for full mana. At least it's not a mana drain like a Core Vash or something. Yeah, we'll be fine. I guess we'll just move a, Oh, we could take a purple to yellow. That sounds good. So go grab all that. Nothing actually got full mana out of it, but still gave a lot of mana. I think he kills Alchemist here. Ideally, I want to try keeping it alive. And because of that, let me take this yellow over here. I don't want to take the other one because it guarantees him a skull. So we'll do that. He's going to get a barrier here. You know, just as I said, that's probably going to be pointless with a barrier. I think he's actually going to get a decent barrier off on his next cast. Hopefully he'll be dead by then. Come on, 13. Yep, exactly so. And that's match. Or almost match. 11 HP. Luckily we actually turned it, though. Okay, so we got to keep the Alchemist. It's pretty important because you lose score if you lose any troops, and this team does not have a summoner. You know what? Maybe we should just replace Element Grim with a summoner at this point. Because what do we really use him for? I guess we use him for attack reduction. We use him for his impervious in some instances. Like if we're up against freeze, I think that's one of the main reasons I kind of have it there in case someone goes like a freeze option. But against specifically dwarves, I don't really think we need him here. Attack reduction comes into play a little bit, but not too much. Well, I guess, you know what? Maybe it does, because we're using an Alchemist in first slot, and if we didn't have that attack reduction, he'd actually be dead right now. So, you know what? Yeah, maybe we do need that attack reduction. So yeah, we'll just keep it as is then. I think it's fine. Anyways, into the next one. Yep, and we hit number 1 on PvP. Actually, we'll do that on this next battle. And another one with the Dwarven Gate. Okay, well, we'll see it again. 4 of the exact same team. All 3 same troops, just 1 different 4th troop every single time. Any substitute for Ellum Grim on this team? Yes, as I just mentioned, any summoner. Literally any red summoner would work in place of an Ellum Grim. Because once your alchemist dies, because he would die without an Ellum Grim, all you would need to do is go replace it out. But yeah, just any summoner would work. Doesn't really matter too much what it is, though of course the better the summoner, the better. I can't really think of one off the top of my head that's exceptionally well on a red day. I know there are a few, I just can't think of any right now. But there's definitely something that you could put there that's probably pretty budgeted. There's a lot of really cheap red summoners. I'm just trying to think of a good one. From what I last recall, almost all of them are pretty bad. But just having a summoner there is still fine. Doesn't necessarily have to be good. It just has to save you the points. Because this whole team is running off of 3 troops. The 4th troop is mostly irrelevant. I'm mainly specifically using Ellum Grim to try to save us points. And out of the slight chance we get up against freeze, but almost no one runs freeze on red day, even though it would be pretty effective. It just is normally more effective to use that on green days and stuff. So, Alchemist, do you have alignment? That'd be amazing if you did. Perfect, we got it. The only problem is he has every single ability right now. We'll go move that down. Wish Queen Titania had full mana. There's actually way more than enough reds, but we don't have the mana, so we can't cast it. Oh, we didn't get an extra turn there. Ow! That's why you need a summoner. Well, not much we can do about that. As long as he doesn't kill anything else, we'll be fine. Oh, okay, never mind. Our armor is going to be high enough because we can go and do damage right now. So she's not going to do triple damage to us. And now all we really need is 1 more heavy poke. And we'll be good to go. So let's start getting his mana up, or keep getting his mana up. Perfect, right into Infernus. And that's match. That actually cleaned up very nicely. But yeah, we did lose the Alchemist, unfortunately. Not much you can do about that sometimes, especially if they're specifically doing a triple damage on it. Almost anything that ever gets hit by a triple damage dwarf is going to die. And even if it doesn't, it's going to be very, very low on HP. That's the whole reason why Penguin is used, to try to get that one shot. But anyways, that's Guild Wars for today. Went pretty smoothly. We got, oh wow, very, very well. We hit over 9,500. That's pretty decent. Basically anything over 9,500 is about the essentially perfect score on Guild War Day. Realistically, anything over 9,500 is the maximum score you can get. I think it's technically possible to get somewhere around 9,600, maybe even more towards 9,700, though it would be pure luck if you were to get it at that point. Anything above that number, 9,500, is very, very good on a given day. My average is normally around 9,200, 9,300, though in bracket 1, or really just in any bracket, scoring at least 9,000 per day with 5-0 on all of the battles is pretty decent. Anyways, we'll go check our little mail thingies. It's mainly just the PvP stuff, and there are free keys from that as well. It's the only really good thing it really gives. Well, I guess it gives a couple other things that are nice, like the glory and such. But anyways, for the rest of the time, actually, let me go to dungeons before I forget. But for the rest of the times, I guess we'll just be messing around with teams in PvP. Probably messing with the Spider Queen a little bit more. I mean, what is her name again? Widow Queen, I mean. And messing around with that. What did I come in here for? Oh, I'm not here for that. I'm coming here for dungeons. I don't know why I went into Soulforge. Let's go clear this out real quick. Get the battle done and go from there. Oh yeah, Highforge is a good red summoner. Did I really just look at him? It's like, what's a good red summoner? But yeah, Highforge would be a very good red summoner. Did I seriously just do that? 4 battles in a row. I'm like, okay, what's a good red summoner? And he's just sitting there the entire time. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't come to my mind, as he's literally on the opposing team. But yeah, Highforge is one of the best red summoners. He is a legend, but yeah, I don't know how I didn't think of that when he's literally just sitting there. But thank you for that. Good job. Let's see. Hello, Derek. Also, hello, the Sam. Oh yeah, no problem for all the videos and stuff. Oh, you would have quit the game without the advice? Yeah. The game does not really have any good tutorials within it at all. Which is, yeah, we try to make guides covering some of that. They really do need to do something to incorporate that a little bit more. It really lacks in-game explanation on a lot of stuff. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward, most of the stuff in this game. Hello, Sai, welcome. How many event chests does it take on average to get the Mythic? About 500 or so. It takes a huge, gigantic amount. Realistically, you're likely not to get it from doing it, but the chance will still be there tomorrow, or I mean next week, when the Fair Shara is in the drop pool. But yeah, it is somewhere around 500 to 1,000 keys on average, somewhere around there. You could get it within 1, it could take 1,000, or even more than that, depending. So yeah, it's not something I would throw too heavy of an amount on. At most, I would throw 250, because by that point, you'd be reaching Legendary on the... you'd be hitting Mythic on the Legendaries that are already there. So once you basically get every single troop from a kingdom up to Mythic, like basically the Legends and all that stuff, and you don't have the Mythic yet, you pretty much want to give up on trying to get the Mythic, because every event key that you open, when the only drop that you need is specifically the Mythic from that kingdom, is very bad value. You might as well just be spending it on gem keys or wait till it gets into the Soul Forge or something. It is excessively bad value to throw event keys if you're only trying for the Mythic off that event key. Also, keep in mind when new Mythic... Oh, wait, oops, I'm doing this in PvP. I wasn't even paying attention. Meant to do that in Dungeons. Oh, wait, or is this Dungeons? Never mind, this is Dungeons. It's just a weird team that kind of looks like a real team. It looks like that one version of Wolf Garrick. Anyways, never mind. I could have just told from the background that it wasn't. Anyways, I don't know why I thought that was PvP for a second. Definitely looked like it. I guess it was because of the slightly higher stats or something. But there we go. That's Guild Wars for today. Go bring out the Widow Queen. Oh, never mind. Let me go bring out a real team, I guess. It just doesn't really matter what we bring out. Oh, you know what? What happened to my little spider I had here? I need to go have a team with a random spider on it. Here, have the spider. What's it called? I actually forget its name. Tomb Spider. Put it there. I need to get the extra 2x trait stones. I don't really need the trait stones, but more trait stones is better than not more trait stones. So we'll take the green over. Move the blue. Get a giant spider in there, and then move from there. Yeah, we could get on brown, go from there. Oh yeah, I didn't fully answer your question yet, did I? The Dragon Soul is available in Soul Forge, but you want to wait till next week for Fair Shara. You'll have enough gems to buy 100 event chests. 100 event chests likely would not be enough to get them, most likely. It does, of course, have the chance, though the chances that you would specifically get it from it, I would say, is around, I want to say 20%, approximately. Somewhere around 10 to 20% off of that many keys is the chance that you would get it. Whereas you could just go for a guaranteed Dragon Soul and maybe just wait till a later time to craft them in Soul Forge. The only other good drops you're really going to be getting from it, there's only 3 other drops that are even relevant from Kedar that you'd be getting if you opened event keys next week. Of course, the main one's Fair Shara. But other than Fair Shara, there's Keeper of Souls, there is Bone Dragon, and there is Azurus. Bone Dragon's basically used for nothing these days because it's gotten nerfed so hard that it basically is just useless. Keeper of Souls is used similar to any of the other converts, like Alchemist, Valkyrie, all that kind of stuff. But it's the Skull version of that. It does have a really high mana cost, but it is one of the most controlled Skull spawns that you can do in the game. And other than that, there is the Azurus. Azurus is generally considered pretty useless, though he does have one certain purpose, and that is he is the best thing to put into a soul farming team that has 0 Fair Sharas. He's normally used with Dragon Soul Triple Azurus, or Dragon Soul Double Azurus Umber Wolf. Both of those two he is pretty decent in. Anyways, let's go and throw... oh, that's not the one I want to do. Actually, it was this team I'm already on, except I replaced out the thing. I want the Queen here. I just put the Spider there because I wanted quick 2x trait stones. And there we go. Okay. To battle we go. I was like, hello, Simple. Hello, Adam. Wondering if the shootings at the YouTube offices will be on YouTube. Was there? I didn't hear anything about that yet. Actually, I did hear something about it from someone who was chatting with earlier, but I didn't really look into it at the time because I was busy. But yeah, what exactly happened? Because I didn't follow that yet. And I shouldn't be laughing about it. It is no laughing matter. Okay, we'll be, what should I go do? We'll go and get Gorgolfa up at this point. But then again, he's going to sigh on us again. You know what? I'm going to just go for Giant Spider then. Oh, yeah. That is a problem. We only have one thing immune to mana drain, and unfortunately it's not a mana generating troop, so that is not good. We'll go take a red and try for the brown. Didn't get it. And I guess we'll take another red, try throw the Dragon Soul down and go from there. He'll take a skull, but he's only stealing 3 mana. Oh, never mind. Okay, good. He still takes it. Perfect. Go grab that. Another skull. It's not going to be enough damage. Unless we can somehow miraculously get a extra turn here. Nope. Oh, but he went for a skull, though. Perfect. Okay. So we'll go throw it out on green. Feels so weird throwing Dragon Soul for only 11 damage, but we'll go do that. Can you show your guild teams, please? Oh, sure. I can go into all of the Guild War teams I normally use. Sure. Most of them are pretty expensive, though, because obviously in bracket 1 and 2, I use whatever the absolute strongest teams are for every single day, and most of those troops specifically people may not have. So here we're going to throw Dragon Soul first. Main reason for this is he's about to drain us. Actually, he's doing really good on this battle. But he's going to go get that kill. We're going to go and kill out a 2 HP Gorgulfa, but at least we get a good revive there. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, that's funny. It does the ancient... What's with us getting Ancient Horror all of a sudden? It has like a 99% chance of summoning an Ancient Horror whenever you kill it with her. Almost every single time I've done that, he has spawned it. And whenever I normally need it, it will never spawn. But when I don't need it like now, it's like, okay, let's just spawn. Well, actually, I guess in this case, I kind of needed it because I had a hole, and there goes Dark Maiden over there. So I guess in that case, it actually did work out for us. Well, most of the time, it's been summoning and then just getting in our way. Okay, so he's in Furnace. I actually have no way of dealing with him, and Dragon Soul's as good as dead because any 2 targets that it hits, it will die as a result. So we might as well just throw our ability because we already know for sure that he's dead. And there was a good chance he would die too. Actually, he does. And we're about to die to Infernus. Yep. We are about to die to Infernus. Luckily, we have immune to Mana Drain here. It's still winnable. But at this point, probably not as much. Yeah, as far as this new troop, the more I keep using her in PvP, the more it feels like she's made only to be worked to work on defend. Okay, we don't even have a web on it. Come on, everything we need webbed. We don't even have the one that needs to be webbed. Oh well, give it another shot. Against almost the exact same team, actually. So round 2, see how that does then. Team with Imperator? What do you mean by Imperator? Imperator? That's not a name of a troop. Do you mean Emperor Corvash, or is there a troop that I'm not aware of that you're trying to say? But yeah, let me know. I don't know what troop you're trying to mention there with Imperator. I don't think that's the actual troop name. Any good Queen Titania teams? Yes. Alchemist, Moneylender, Queen Titania, Goblin Rocket. I actually have that set up as one of my teams right now. Well, not specifically that. I have it with double Queen Titania, because why not? Yeah, it's a pretty decent team. Anything with Queen Titania is pretty decent, but I like going the infinite mana loop route. I also like using her on Red Guild War days, as you saw today, because she's just insanely good damage. Because if you're already using a pure red team, you just get so much extra bonus from it. So he's going to drain us here. Not much we can do about it. But he'll go get that if he's actually going to decide to ever cast it. I'll go throw another Dragon Soul down for now. So far, so good. As long as he doesn't take Famine mana, we should be okay. So right here, we're going to kill out Gorgulfa to get some damage down. Again! Seriously! It has like a 90% chance or something. Ever since, if you kill it with this, it totally has a higher percent chance. We'll go move that over. Get a Dragon Soul. Yep, there goes Famine. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, we actually have nothing we could do right now. I guess we'll go take a green. Get our mana up there. That dies out. Well, if nothing else, I guess we can kill out Dragon Soul. And when the Dragon Soul kills itself out, we will then be able to go and summon it in its spot. Because it'll have a 50% chance, which will most likely roll. We'll go take that, get one Dragon Soul down, because it should hit enough skulls to kill it. And it does. Throw another one down, because we already have the mana. Oh, but so will he. Okay, there we go. But it already did what I kind of wanted it to do. Oh, can we get the first ever of us getting a Dragon Soul off the baby dragon? Come on, Dragon Soul. That is not a Dragon Soul. Okay, we'll go throw that down. That'll give us another summon that we can go kill out. Hopefully this one... Oh, you know what? I'm actually not going to kill it out, because we get to get some poke damage. So I'm going to go throw that onto, I guess, Famine. Out of everything on his team right now, that's probably the biggest threat. And now we throw it on our biggest HP. Wait, can she actually target herself? I think she can. Looks like she can. I never actually bothered trying to do that. Maybe I'll do her that with her next cast just to see. I think she can target herself. I've never bothered doing it because I didn't think that would be viable. I don't know. I just never really thought that that would be a thing. But yeah, I guess, yeah, we can actually go do that if we really wanted to. So we'll go kill that out. And now all we have to do is deal with one Famine, who will die in one single poke at this point. And then we'll be good to go. Is a Dragon Soul Triple Azurus faster than Valkyrie +3 Warlock? Yes and no. It's slower, but you can do it on Warlord 2 difficulty, meaning it's quicker. So Dragon Soul is basically, you win slower on your battles, but it's more souls per hour using a Dragon Soul. Because you can do First Challenge, Divining Fields, and a few other ones, and set it to Warlord 2 difficulty, which gives you 50% additional souls. And it doesn't lose, or it doesn't win too much slower than the other team, but it does win slightly slower than the other team. Though you're net winning less battles, which means less trait stones per hour, you're gaining more souls overall when doing Dragon Soul Triple Azurus and other similar teams. So it really comes down to, are you more interested in the souls? And in most cases, if people are soul farming, they're more interested in the souls than any other aspect of the battle. So in those cases, yeah, basically every Dragon Soul team is better than a Valkyrie team. Well, we'll go and throw that down. Assuming you have all the components of it, of course. One of the main things that make a Valkyrie Warlock team pretty nice is it's super cheap and accessible to basically everyone in the game. Because it only uses rares. Really easy to obtain rares. Most people would have it probably in their first few weeks or so. Wouldn't you get more trait stones with a quicker team? Yes, you would always get more trait stones with a quicker team. Generally, the best way to get trait stones in the entire game is spam Explore with the quickest team you can do. The reason for specifically doing Explore is because it has a repeat button, and it has a, well, you can just kill it in seconds. You can kill 4 wins per minute consistently, pretty easily, doing Explore. Once you have things like Rowan, Double Firebomb to a decent amount of leveling and stats, you can kill it out pretty easily. Umberwolf on a soul farming team for Darkstorm, yes, it's used specifically with Dragon Soul for Darkstorm purposes. I still haven't tested it compared to a Triple Azurus team, like using Triple Azurus compared to Double Azurus Umberwolf, but I have heard people mention that it's actually quicker doing Umberwolf. You win quicker, but you are getting less souls per battle, but I believe it's more souls overall per hour, but I haven't actually tested it for long enough to be able to determine that or not. But people have been mentioning that to me. Because for the longest of time I was saying Triple Azurus and not really mentioning the Umberwolf one. Okay, we'll go throw that down. You kind of have a question. How do you get the cards to level up your troops to Mythic or Legendary? There's no really easy way to ascend troops. It's the hardest thing to do in the entire game as far as between trading, leveling, and all those other things. The hardest thing to do is to specifically ascend them. The main reason being is most of the resources that allow you to make it easier to ascend troops are limited. The places where you can kind of get them is doing all of the PvP objectives for the week, like getting to 1.9k points within PvP would end up giving you, I believe, 46 glory keys. You'll end up getting several keys off of doing whatever the event objectives is. This week it is play a bunch of treasure hunt, which I still haven't really been doing yet, but I need to go get around to it. Other than that, you get a lot of them from the guild, and you get them from some of the other guild-related activities too, or all the other guild-related activities, like invasion and raids as well. And other than that, you can also farm them within the treasure hunt. The treasure hunt minigame itself has the chance of dropping keys, which you can then use to try to get troops, which will then lead to ascending your troops. But yeah, it is very, very hard to ascend things to Legendary and Mythic. It can take a very, very, very long amount of time. More often than not, it could take a matter of months. Like, if you get a new troop, to get it all the way to Mythic, it just takes very long. It's not something made to be really quick, is basically the bottom line. It's something that is more of a long-term goal, if anything, to get things up to Mythic Ascension. Other than that, there is one other way to get things to Mythic, and that is to use the new orbs that came in the most recent patch. The blue orbs can ascend things. Basically, you just use it on a troop and it increases their ascension. Ideally, the smaller one you want to use to get something from Legendary rarity to Mythic rarity, and the smallest orb, or I mean the bigger orb, the one that fully ascends your troop, you'd want to use that mostly on commons and rares, because they have the longest distance to go until they get max leveled. Treasure Hunt is so boring. I don't know, I like Treasure Hunt. It's not something I play a lot because the reward system for it is pretty bad, but this week, when they actually have the higher rewards for it, it's not that bad to play. We'll probably play some of it actually during the stream. I need to keep poking at it during the week, just so we get it done. But we'll go get Dragon Soul down. That'll remove all the barriers. Get a little scope poke. Oh, web a random enemy. I don't really need that, though. We already have all the webs we pretty much ever need. Let's go throw that down. There's some Dragon Soul in there. That should give its last little bit of mana. Oh, never mind. We're blocking on both its colors. Never mind. That's not going to do that. I really wish this thing did more damage. It does such a ridiculously small amount of damage. It has a really low mana cost, but the problem is it has so little damage that's barely even worth casting it many turns. I know it's even less than Dragon Soul, but we're getting mana generation and souls from that, so it's a little bit different. Okay, let's just go and kill out herself. I've been meaning to target herself. Of course, that doesn't do anything too special, but there we go. I've been meaning to do that just for fun. But yes, she can indeed target herself. I haven't ever bothered doing that yet because I didn't really think there was a need to. Icy Cosmic Unicorn Phoenix. What a name. What a name right there. Interesting. I know guild tasks give a lot of keys, like an insane amount. It's where most people gain a good majority of their resources, is just from guild tasks, from being in some of the better guilds. Let's see. The more pay-to-win levels you have, the more keys you get daily. Those give very little, though. Actually, the VIP bonuses are pretty small. The only ones that are really big is at VIP 3 and VIP 5. VIP 3 for auto scouting, and VIP 5 for VIP keys. Those are about the only two really huge rewards. Everything else under VIP system's pretty bad. But it's made that way kind of deliberately, just to make it so it doesn't seem like you have to have the whole VIP system in this game. You can easily play it free to play and just kind of ignore it completely. Oh, that reminds me, it doesn't show the green thing here anymore. Oh, it shows it right there. I was mentioning that earlier. It actually shows it below the thing. I forgot. They used to have like a green shield here, but now it shows it below. Yeah, most of the VIP stuff's pretty bad. Beyond VIP 5, nothing is really noteworthy. Only reason I'm VIP 6 is because there were some other purchases I ended up doing. The most recent ones was when those crafting resources in Soulforge were released. I got some of them in order to rush Dawnbringer, as well as to rush not Fair Shara, to rush Exynos, that one useless troop. But I still wanted to go over them. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing under VIP that's pay to win. The only thing that I would slightly consider to be is VIP 3, because it gives you free scouting. But it's so cheap I barely even consider it, but technically it is pay to win, because you get to see your battles. Because if you didn't do this, while you could go and click a button to go see it for 50 gold, the biggest issue with that is that it takes time, and it goes through like a 1-second load, and it's just really annoying, and some people may opt to not do it, which would technically mean they would not have the feature of seeing the enemy team, which would make it harder for them to counter it if it was something really annoying. Anyways, let's go and, let's just keep messing around in PvP then. Oh yeah, there was a team with Queen Titania that I forgot to go mention. Someone was mentioning. Someone wanted a Queen Titania team. Alchemist, Moneylender, Goblin Rocket, and Queen Titania. Or double Queen Titania if you have it, as we were doing right here, obviously. But yeah, either of those would end up working out pretty nicely. Let's go and let's see. It's also ridiculously cheap. It's about the cheapest possible Queen Titania team you can make. Of course, replacing that with Goblin Rocket would make it cheaper. But we'll go move that over. This wipes my mana I needed. Actually, I probably should have just taken down the previous turn. I was trying to keep some of the yellows there so we could use it for Alchemist, though. And it keeps ruining it. There we go. We still got it. We got it off the corner. So we'll go grab that. Get a Moneylender down, and that's pretty much win. Throw another Alchemist. I believe we have it. Yeah, go grab that down. Get another Moneylender down. Throw a double Queen Titania. Both of them on extra turn, and pretty much just repeat that until we win. Throw this down, and you do the same thing with a Goblin Rocket. Oops, I thought that was an extra turn for whatever reason. You do the same thing with Goblin Rocket. The only difference is you use them for board control, and you wouldn't have the double Queen Titania. You would just have the board control Goblin Rocket into a single Queen Titania. Same difference, just slightly slower doing it that way, but still the exact same concept. Yeah, that's why I like using her, and if I'm ever going to actually use her in PvP, like that. Quite a bit of fun. It's basically like what the old double Queen Mab team used to be before Queen Mab got counters. Of course, like before there was ever a mana shield in the game, and before they ever nerfed the amount of things a troop needed to get an extra turn. At one point, Queen Mab could deal her full amount of damage to everything with no restrictions, as well as the fact that she could also do 10. She only needed 10 blues in order to extra turn. And at that point, she was just absolutely insane. Though, Queen Titania almost feels stronger than how strong she was then, which is kind of amazing. But yeah, they really went high with the stats on her. I even thought that it seemed like something they might need a nerf when it first was released. I personally don't use Queen Titania a lot these days, but she is very, very above the power curve. So we'll go throw that down. What do we need here? I need extra turn, but the problem is none of it's an extra turn. So we'll go grab some browns, I guess. Start getting his mana up a little. Nothing else, we can go get that. He doesn't even go... Okay, there he goes. I was going to say, why is he just leaving the extra turn there? I know the AI's been doing that a lot lately, but that would have just been an extremely blatant one. We'll go grab that down. No extra turn off that, surprisingly. We also don't have enough on the board. Oh, I should have used that for an Alchemist. Oh, well. Too late. How many are we at? We'll go through a Moneylender. Hopefully get all of our manas up. Extra turn. Double cast. Dead. Oh, never mind. Oh, I could have killed it this entire time. I wasted like 5 turns worth of time because we already had enough damage. Fail. Whoops. Anyways, into the next battle. Could I show some no mythic Guild War teams? For what color? But yeah, what color are you referring to? I could try building something around it. Most of my teams that I do use for Guild Wars are no mythic though. Obviously the one I used today used mythics. But I believe half my Guild War days use no mythics on it. It's just some of the harder colors like red and stuff. Well, actually red isn't hard. The biggest problem with some of the colors like red and green. And I believe blue? No, I don't think it's blue. I can't think of what the other color was. But there are a few colors that a good majority of the troops that are viable for Guild Wars are all like legends and mythics. Which makes it hard to sometimes work without those legends or mythics. Okay, we'll go through Queen Titania here. Get an Alchemist down. Get a Moneylender down. Does he still say Isabella rather than Ishbala? Yes, I know it's Ishbala. I keep accidentally saying Isabella though. I understand that it's Ishbala. I just can't remember to say that correctly. Because I keep saying it as Isabella, because that's just how I remember it. But yeah, if I'm ever saying Isabella, I mean Ishbala. Same difference. We'll go and get the green down. Oh, that's not, okay, never mind, oops. I'll go through this down. Get that down, come on, go, come on. I can only misclick too many times. And throw these down. Wow, 51 damage. Even if that was only to one troop, that would be insane. And it does it to all of them. Of course, it was fairy fired though, so that's where a lot of the extra damage came from. Obviously, it doesn't just default hit 51. It's because of the fairy fire that's making it do it that much. The Orc Summoner isn't really too good for Red Day, but if you had no other option, you definitely could do it. Let's see. Have you heard about Samsung's chip called Exynos? No, I have not. And you thought your victories were glorious. All the victories are glorious. But yeah, as far as red summoners, when people were mentioning that earlier, let me go over the summoners that are good. Obviously, Highforge. I have no clue how I didn't mention that earlier. But, oops, let me go under summon to make these slightly less. Okay, so red summoners that aren't horrible. Garnock, he's not horrible. He would work out pretty nice. Highforge would be the best possible option if you could fit it into your team. Prince Athoris isn't horrible if you had no other option. You can actually get him for free from the... Oh, it says it right there. From the Bright Forest Kingdom. For a second, I thought forgot what kingdom he's from. I keep wanting to say Shentang instead. But yeah, he's from Bright Forest, so if you just complete out that kingdom, you get it for free. The main thing about him is if you get a summon, if you get a KrissTigger summon, you're good to go. Because KrissTigger also has a summon. So your summoner summons a summon that has a summon on it. So that's really good. Your summoner summons a summon that summons. Of course, it could also summon a Silver Draken, which is useless, but if it summons a KrissTigger, that's absolutely amazing. Sir Gawain. Oh, how could I forget Sir Gawain? Sir Guild Wars. We nicknamed him Sir Guild Wars because Sir GW. But yeah, Sir Gawain is pretty nice. He's I believe the only multi-summoner at the moment used on red days. So that would work out. Works really good for yellow days too. Actually, probably even better on yellow days because of the compositions that I can work with. Other than that, pretty much nothing. I guess if you really need a cheap one, Summoner got buffed recently to have an HP buff on its thing. Well, I always had an HP buff, but it used to be a lot less. It used to only be a 5 HP static, but now it's based on its magic. I believe it's half its magic plus 3, I want to say. Based on our current magic, that seems to be what it is. I'm not exactly sure if that is his boost ratio, but it looks like it is. Half his magic plus 3 is probably what his boost ratio thingy is. So yeah, that's not too bad as far as how much HP he gives. Plus you get the summoner out of it. Of course, it's not going to progress your battle at all, but if you had no other option, it's still not that bad. Yeah, that's pretty much all the red summoners. Everything else is not really worth using. The main two I would consider are Sir Gawain and Highforge are the main two, if you happen to have either of them. What was the other question? There was one question in here that I missed. And if I missed anyone else's question, definitely feel free to leave it. But yeah, as far as the previous one that was asked, like, as far as teams, Guild War teams that don't use mythics, that depends a lot on what you actually have. Basically, there are a few of them that I have, I believe, that do that. So if we go under Guild War Red, obviously that one doesn't. Guild War Blue, technically does. I'm using Dawnbringer, but I guess you could go and replace that out with a... Oh, but most people don't have Fire and Ice is the problem. Because that's the actual replacement that would work for that. But still, you can replace that with a different blue weapon, put it more towards the back of your line, and use Hyndla more as your damage source, and reorder it more like this. And then that would be a relatively cheap team. Epic that you can get from a kingdom for free. Legendary that recently came out, so probably a lot of people have it. And any hero weapon. You need it set as Titan, so that you can get the half mana for both your Hyndla and the Frost Troll. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be keeping this as my team. I was obviously using this when Hyndla came out. Though I believe I'm keeping it because it was actually really effective at functioning, so might as well keep it. I don't really see any need to replace it. What we were using prior was pretty much already the same thing. Guild War Yellow actually isn't too hard to use a full non-mythic team. If I was, it'd probably be more towards the line of Gorgoltha Moloch and building around there. Gorgoltha Moloch's pretty decent since you can get a lot of single target drains. Assuming they don't have any immune to drains, it ends up working out really well. And then you just put utility troops from there. Brown's also pretty easy to form into a non-mythic team. You would just have to replace out Famine, ideally with something that covers other colors that you're not already using. So in this case, in this particular team, that would be purple and green. So if there was a brown, purple, green mythic, like if you had Yasmin, it would be okay. Other than that, you could just go a brown, purple, or a brown, green that you might have laying around, so that would function into the team. And let's see, for purple, I'm using a Elamagrim loop. I don't believe there's a legendary alternative to that. Because obviously we'd have to get rid of Elamagrim and Infernus. What was the old purple team I used to use? I guess you could use some kind of double Queen Titania team. Because it doesn't matter if you use multiples for invading. You can literally use 4 times KrissTigger. Also, by the way, you could use 4 times KrissTigger for Green and Blue Day. I have actually done that before, and it is surprisingly decent. It doesn't score like the most desirable scores, but as far as win rate, it's actually not that bad compared to everything else. But yeah, do keep in mind, you can use multiples when making a Guild War team. So if you only had KrissTiggers and you had nothing else really to use viably for, let's say, a Blue or Green Day, that could legitimately be your team and you would win. And it would function for full points. Because it doesn't matter if you repeat the troop for invading. For defending, it does. For invading, it doesn't matter. So this could be your team and you wouldn't be penalized at all. Of course, if you're going slow and you're taking a lot of damage, stuff like that, you'd be penalized in those regards. But you're not being penalized for using the exact same troop 4 times over. Which is kind of funny. But yes, you could seriously do that. I haven't done that for a while. Maybe I'll go do that this week. Just for fun. Try winning with 4 times KrissTigger or something. Or maybe if a new troop comes out, use 4 times of that. Unfortunately, I can't do that with the Mythic because I won't have that many copies of the Mythic. And I can't do that with the Legend because 1, I only have 1 copy of it. And 2, that just wouldn't work. It'd be horrible using 4 of the most recent Legend that just came out the other day. Let's see. Go get that down. Have I re-jigged your Guild War defense? Yes, I have modified my Guild War defense. They're all moved back around. We did that last night before the stream ended. Actually, we did it all on stream. We were messing around with it. Took us like 5 to 10 minutes to figure out what we wanted to do with it. But, yeah, I did all that on stream last night. We were just messing around with it and finally got all of our teams situated. There's still a few tweaks I want to make to it in the future, but what's currently set is fine. Moneylender isn't red though, right? Oh yeah, you can't use this team. No, you can't use this team unless you want to do a triple team. If you are struggling in Guild Wars, triple teams are a good alternative though. Yeah, I wasn't showing this as a red team. I'm just using it at the moment because someone was asking about Queen Titania. But yeah, don't feel bad if you're like a newer player and you only have to use 3. Like you could just use this for red day if you wanted to. Of course, it's not pure color, but if you can 100% win rate with this, but you're not 100% win rating with 4 of the same color, then you're better off just using something like this because, or really every single concept like this. Basically, if you're struggling on a Guild War day, the easiest way to not struggle with it is go down to 3 colors and then use the converter for that color. So for instance, on a on red day, that would be something like a Hellcat or a Moneylender. On a brown day, that would be an Apothecary. On a green day, that would be Green Seer. On a purple day, that would be Giant Spider or Green Slime and other similar things, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, there's definitely alternatives you could do to make your team basically have a, not necessarily 100% win rate, but a lot higher than what you would normally would. You're getting penalized some on your score, but if you're already going to be losing even once, it's better to use 3 troops and not lose at all than it is to use 4 troops and lose once. You would net gain more score from winning 100% with only 3 than you would if you just end up losing one. So do keep that in mind. Also, what on earth is this team that I'm facing right now? I just now noticed what it was. I didn't glance over at it until just now. It's like, wait, 4 eggs? I haven't seen that for a while. Some people do that, though, because it has the chance of making a baby dragon, and then you can kill a bunch of them. People do that for those events where you have to kill a bunch for PvP, and I guess apparently they forget to undo it. Or they're just trolling people. The best way to troll people would be 4 times Dragon Souls or something, because of how high of a chance it has to summon something. Or 4 times Inferno Kings. That's also ridiculously annoying, especially without stun. Also 4 times Drake Rider is also very annoying. Gorgotha, Yagway, Diviner, and Emperor Liang. Yeah, that's not too bad. I personally don't use Emperor Liang anymore, though. I was mainly only using it initially just to kind of mess around with it some and to mess with it in teams composed around Shentang. But for the most part, I don't really feel like it's worth it using it. There's actually not really that many good yellow purples at the moment. It's been a color that's always been lacking a bit. For the longest time when I first started off, I was using Shadow Dragon for that. But Shadow Dragon, even though he's barely been touched at all, has become very useless as of recently. Or not as of recently, it's been for a while now. But when the game first launched, Shadow Dragon was really, really good. Because Poison at the time was excessively strong. It's still exactly what it does now. But the max HP of any troop was like 20, not even. Like I think maybe 15 at one point. So having a poison that could do 50% chance to do 1 damage per turn was insanely high damage at the time. Of course, these days that is pitiful. The average troop in late game has at least 60 HP, if not 70. And some even have like upwards of 80. And that's without any bonuses. So yeah, they get pretty high these days. And current poison is very weak against it. Really wish it would scale or something. When it has higher HP, maybe doing more damage to it or something along those lines. Oh, you finally got a Famine. My favorite thing to use with Famine is normally a... Well, actually, I normally use it with other mythics whenever I use it. But it's more... Well, I don't know if I should go cheaper variant or not. If the cheaper variant would be more so something around the lines of Goblin Rockets... Gorgotha, Famine, Mercy, and then a Moloch. And the more expensive version would be something more along the lines of Gorgotha, World Breaker, or Infernus, Mercy, and then a Famine. So either of those. Oh, my bad. Famine will go before it. So it'd be Gorgotha, World Breaker, or Infernus in second slot, followed by a Famine, and then Mercy all the way in last slot, because you don't want to block the green on Famine. Well, you want to make sure at least one of his colors isn't blocked. You can block him on as many colors as you want, but as long as one color isn't blocked, that's the main thing that matters. Doesn't really matter specifically which color that is, for the most part. What do we even need to move here? I guess we'll try for an extra turn green. Okay, we're going to get double skull. Too bad that wasn't double green. That would have been perfect. We're not frozen on that color, so we'll just go take that. Move that down. Got a bunch of fairy fires. The only problem here, though, is we are frozen on red, so that's going to end our turn. Or not, because we got another extra turn off the top. So that worked out perfectly, actually. Let's go do this on green. We're not, yeah, so we'll do this on green. We're not frozen on the other thing. We should have enough reds on the board. So we'll go throw that down once. Hopefully get another random extra turn off of something. No, we didn't, but we have double Queen Titania, so that's actually a match. Even through freeze, we still win. Of course, it wasn't our entire team frozen. That would be really annoying if it was. But nope, even through the slight freeze, barely even touches us. The power of Queen Titania. Maybe I should start using her more. I kind of forgot how ridiculously, insanely high damage she has. I think Guild War today kind of reminded me of that, because it's been such a while since I ran her in anything. Because during invasions and raids, she doesn't really get to come into play because, of course, it's based on kingdom or type. And I don't believe any raids or invasion has allowed her yet. And even if they did, it wouldn't even work that well. Because the main thing that makes her really good is the Fairy Fire. And you can't Fairy Fire anything that are towers or the boss in raids. So you half her value basically gets negated. Well, not half. 1/3 of her value, I guess. Because the Fairy Fire does extra 50%. But yeah, that whole mechanic she doesn't even get to use against them. I guess that's kind of one of the reasons. What is he doing? He's actually doing decent right now. He just got a kill. Luckily, there's plenty of reds on the board right now, so go grab all that. Take another red, get another poke on him. That's almost dead, but unfortunately, that's not going to be all the way. We're going to go give him a Skull Distract. It's not full mana, though, unfortunately. What do we need? What do we need? We'll go grab ourselves, I guess, some reds or something. Can you stop hitting us with so much damage? Okay, I don't have any good cascades, I don't think. Come on, good cascades. There has to be something on this board. I guess we'll just move that over. Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Okay, it's still winnable. Though it is getting slightly less possible now. We'll go move that over. Get that poke down. 1 versus 1. Oh no! I can't hit him with a skull. If any skull aligns on the entire board, I lose. The reason for this is he has Inferno, or he has, yeah, Inferno armor. So if I hit him with a skull, he hits me back. So any skull on the board that aligns to being able to be taken, even if I am the one who takes it, will result in my lose. Oh, and if he takes a red, we also lose. Forgot about that too. Whoops. I don't think I've ever... No, I have seen that. I've never seen the enemy do that, though. I've seen me do that to the enemy, but never the other way around. That is pretty funny. Dying to a red take off of, what's his name? That is pretty bad. Off of Yagwe. Yeah, he can stack a lot. Just from feeding him reds is really good value. Because not only is he getting the damage, he's also getting the life. Because it steals the life, so he gets it for himself too. So yeah, that was unfortunate. To say the least. I'll go take that down. Oh yeah, no problem, Mystic. Let's see. There's actually quite a few people that stream on YouTube. Doing various games. Though as far as Gems of War is concerned, there's really only 2 people really at the moment that bother to stream Gems of War. There are a few others here and there, but as far as like people that do it on a really regular basis, there's me, and then there is basically the devs themselves. They stream every Monday night. They streamed last night as well as they do every Monday night. They're planning on streaming a little bit more as well. I don't think they'll be streaming as much as we'll be streaming, but probably a pretty decent amount. Because the reason they don't do it too much at the moment is because they don't really have a designated location for it yet at their office. So they'll be increasing that in the near future once they finally get situated into their new office, which would probably be in the next month or so. Okay, we'll go throw this convert down. But yeah, there are plenty of people that stream on YouTube of various games. I don't think I've really watched too many of them, though. I have in the past, but as of recently... haven't really been paying too much attention to people streaming on YouTube or on Twitch. This is not something I personally do a heavy amount, even though which is kind of funny because I actually stream myself quite a bit. The only stream I really catch on the regular basis is the Gems of War Monday streams when they stream on Monday, and I catch for another game I play the Wednesday stream for old school RuneScape because they go over basically stuff within the game that's going to be coming in the future. It's basically like what the devs of Gems of War do on a monthly basis or so, is what they do every single week, so I normally catch that for that game. Yeah, they haven't done one for a while. Gems of War devs do on occasion do a Q&A stream and stuff, where they basically answer questions from the community, but since they've been moving office and all that other stuff, and they just haven't really gotten around to it lately. Hopefully they will. They said that they're finally not going to be keeping on any kind of schedule because they keep ruining their schedule and not sticking to it. So I have no clue when they're really going to get onto doing it on a regular basis. But yeah, I always like when devs do stuff like that because it helps keep track of everything that they're planning. Okay, and let's go throw that down. Shadow Dragon plus Dragon Soul, yes, that's normally what I would go if I ever do use a Shadow Dragon. Any kind of 4x Dragon team with Dragon Soul in some slot and then Shadow Dragon behind it ends up working out really good. I think we even showed that for someone yesterday when we were going like really budget Shadow Dragon team. As far as some of the more expensive teams, you'd most likely throw it into, let's see, Glitter Claw, Dragon Soul... we need the Shadow Dragon. Wait, what's the convert on Glitter Claw again? Yeah, converts out blue. So we get that into the green just for the Fairy Fire. We get that, and now we just need one other damage source. I guess just an Elm Grim in the back for holding down the line. And should be good to go. Go peer into the Dragon Soul with the Dragon Soul banner. We can go something like that. Of course, the early game version is put a Dragatar on it and go from there. And you can basically just run down everything with Dragatar. Pretty nice. That'd be funny if I lose with this one. I think actually against this particular team, a Dragatar variant would be better. because hitting him with constant small damage is not going to get us that far due to the team he has. Humility is really good against constant small hits. What do we even need to take here? Yellow, we have our banner minus, so I don't actually want to go for that. We're just going to move that over. Didn't get any of the cascade, but he gives us a free turn, so we'll go grab all that. About to get a glitter claw. Unfortunately, with all the manas we're having to take, and the fact we weren't able to get off explosion, there's probably not going to be any alignment for it. Let's see. I guess we'll go and move that green over. Got a red out of it, which also gives us the enchant, which I guess we can finally Fairy Fire with, so we'll go throw that down. You can also do it with KrissTigger, of course, too. KrissTigger, actually, in this case, might have been better. I didn't even realize he actually has 3 things with immunity to it. Wow, I really picked the absolute worst one to do then. I keep forgetting she has Mana Shield now. Or not Mana Shield, but she has the full immunity to Fairy Fire and everything else now. Because they gave her that extra trait in the most recent patch. And because she's so underused, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, it would be way better, at least in this particular instance, to use a KrissTigger and do the order in KrissTigger, Dragon Soul, Shadow Dragon, Elamagrim. Okay, let's go and clear out the board one more time. We don't have a Shadow Dragon or anything at the moment. And now is when we get to start doing things. So we'll go throw that down. I should be able to fit an Elamagrim into there. And ideally we could get another one, but it looks like we're just going to go and throw down a Dragon Soul. Get another Elamagrim, and that's match. Well, it took us a little while to get it started, but yeah. That should have definitely been a KrissTigger. Against things that could actually be Fairy Fired, of course we could throw the Glitter Claw at it. Let's see. You had a daily task on PS4 today. Open 3 gem keys for 2,000 gold. Wow, that is really, really easy. I hope we get some good stuff out of the daily tasks that come in. We are going to be getting it on PC mobile as well very, very soon. Alright, we're just going to move the browns over. Go grab that down. All that falls. See what else we might need here and there. Oh, greens. I'll take that. Get the attack reduction. It's not like we really even need it, but extra attack reduction. Well, at least maybe if we can Skull Distract, we'll get that going a little bit there. Yeah, if anyone else has any other questions, team builds you want me to do, let me know, or if I missed any questions. Guild War Red Day, what do you think about Hero, Dawnbringer, Archer class, the Dragon Soul, Yalgwei, and Highforge? Sounds perfectly fine. The only slight issue with that is you don't have any quick mana generator. It's also probably really bad against mana drain, though very few people run mana drain on Red Day, so you probably wouldn't have to worry about it too much. Normally when I build teams for Guild Wars, I try making it so that I can work against any generic team, for the most part. Very occasionally I'll specialize them. The only times I'll try specializing them is if I specifically need a counter to Queen Mab, because Queen Mab is so ridiculously annoying sometimes with loop teams that you kind of have to switch into something else. But yeah, do keep that in mind. But yeah, against pretty much everything else, other than mana drain, should be perfectly fine, and you're not really going to run into much of an issue. Oh, got a really big Shadow Dragon just sitting there. Gives us everything on our entire team. Get an Elamagrim down, should hopefully hit. Ooh, it missed. Okay. We just gave him a lot of Burble. A bit unfortunate. Didn't even get Fairy Fire down yet either. Yeah, I guess we'll just throw Dragon Soul down and go into Elamagrim. I don't even need to throw Fairy Fire. We have this thing just sitting here and I'm not even using it. But yeah, Dragon Soul, Shadow Dragon. Well, I don't use it much. It is pretty decent. More often than not, if I'm going to do a team like that, I'm going to be doing Dragon Soul Fair Shara. It's the same thing, but it gives you souls. So that's the main reason why I like it. Ooh, not against that team. I hate that team. The whole Nyx team with everything. But this is the team I normally like to use. If I'm going to specifically use Dragon Soul with Convert, oops, I normally do it with, well, this is my 4x Dragon team I normally go. World Breaker using Dragon Guard Hero class. I'm currently not using that. Dragon Soul, World Breaker, and Glitter Claw for 4x Dragons. But for when I want to build a Dragon Soul team that has that same Convert, this does exactly what a Shadow Dragon does. It converts all yellows into purple, except it gains you a lot of souls. Yeah, this is what I love using with it. World Breaker plus Fair Shara covers every color, so it works out quite nicely. You just got Fair Shara and Elamagrim today. What's a good Fair Shara PvP team? Oh, well, I just answered your question without even looking at it. I love when I do that. Here's a good Fair Shara PvP team. If you don't have World Breaker, you can replace that out with something cheaper. Basically, any yellow-green would be sufficient there. The cheapest thing that would be really viable would be a Grapple Pot, though really any green-yellow that isn't horrible would work there as well, if you don't happen to have a Grapple Pot. But yeah, this is basically what you would use with it, if you just got it. As far as Elamagrim, I normally like using Elamagrim for infinite loops. Normally Rock Troll, Dark Troll, Grim with Infernus, and if you don't have Infernus, with a Ural fully traded. And if you don't have Ural fully traded, anything that can mass burn very easily, preferably without wasting your turn, are what you would want to use. Okay. What do we need here? We'll take it brown. Oh, why did I take it that way? Out of every single way I could have taken that. Here, have a free skull. Yeah, that's not what you do. But let's go and get a Dragon Soul down. Oh, he's going to get a summon. That's going to be really annoying. He could actually kill us if we're not careful here. Fair Shara, do something. No. Okay, we'll go throw that down. Please extra turn so we get a Fair Shara poke in there. Perfect, exactly what we needed. I don't have it into a follow-up extra turn, but still good enough. I'm going to overkill it like crazy right here, but let's go hit it for like 100-something damage. Kill that out, get a World Breaker down. Nice extra turn. We can go poke him again, kill that out. Getting the summons dead like one turn before they actually summon. And there you go. And of course you'll hit max souls every single time. Pretty easy wins for the most part, even though we kind of did a little bad this time around, but normally goes pretty smoothly. You have the AoE you need, you have single targets to get rid of any threats, you have all the mana generation you need, and yeah, it's pretty much just what you do. Just keep throwing it down, keep getting damage down. And of course, like I said, grapple pot here if you don't have World Breaker. Same thing, except you don't get mana generation. It has a similar amount of damage, but it doesn't have mana generation on it. Though one nice thing about her is you get an automatic extra turn, whereas World Breaker's only a chance at an extra turn. But yeah, that's pretty much what you'd use for Fair Shara teams. If I'm ever specifically soul farming in PvP, this is the exact team I use. And of course, cheaper variants is just replace out World Breaker. Pretty much everything else is essential though, because you need a mana generator in front of Fair Shara, and you need a damage source that isn't Fair Shara on your team. You cannot run solo Fair Shara as your only damage source. You can, but it's very slow, and is really bad against Barrier and a few other mechanics. Actually, mainly just Barrier. Like it's Barrier and technically Devour, because obviously if they devour your Fair Shara, and he's your only damage source, then that's going to be bad. Really, any team that only has one damage source is bad against Devour, though. Because of course, if you lose your one damage source, well, you're kind of out of luck. And at that point, you might as well just retreat if it's not a Guild War battle. Always good to have at least two, because one may die to some kind of random luck. Like a troop that has a 20% chance to kill a random troop or something. Like, that's always the most annoying one, I think. It's not used that often these days, but Black Manacles, that one brown-purple hero weapon you get at 40 brown, 40 purple, that is so ridiculously annoying when it just gets a random kill out of nothing. Because it has, like, what, a 25% chance, I believe it is, that will just randomly devour one of your enemies. And whenever it doesn't trigger, it's like, okay, that's just an okay amount of AoE damage and stuff like that. It's actually pretty decent. But then when it devours, it's like, what? You just, like, lose, like, a core troop out of nowhere just because it decided to randomly hit a 25% chance. It's really annoying. Anyways, down it goes. Already hit max souls, so we didn't have to clear it out with a Fair Shara. And down it goes. What team are you using for tomorrow? That depends. What color is tomorrow? I should really keep track of what those are. I always never pay attention to what color each day is. I'll like look at the morning and then set the shirt to the side just so I know what shirt to wear. That reminds me too, I still need to go get shirt colors. I still need to find a brown shirt. You'd be surprised how hard it is to find a dark brown shirt. I would think that would be a really generic shirt to find, but for whatever reason, I cannot find a dark brown shirt. The two that I also can't find, which is somewhat more understandable because they're not really common colors, is a dark green shirt and a dark yellow shirt. As weird as it may seem, you can use green when using a green screen, but it has to be a really dark color so that it doesn't pick up on the pigment. It still can be recognized as the color green, but be dark enough that the green screen effect wouldn't recognize it as green. But yeah, I still need to find a dark brown shirt, a dark green, and a dark yellow. I don't know if any of you have been noticing, but I always like wear the same color as the day, or at least try to. But the only problem is I only have red, blue, and purple. All the other colors I don't have, because yellow gets green screens, green gets green screens, and I couldn't find a dark enough brown shirt. And the one brown shirt I did have was too light of a brown, and it got green screens because the lighting on the other effect that is also bad is I have like a yellowish light here because of the lamp that I have set up for my room lighting, and that creates like a yellowish tint. And the problem with that is on any light color. Because it has a bit of green in it, it's basically going to green screen any lighter color I wear. So yeah, it doesn't work out that well. Anyways, brown. So my brown defend, or my invade team that I normally use for Guild War days is centered around Gorgotha Corvash. That is the entirety of the team. Everything else on the team really depends on what you want to use. But the whole team itself is Gorgotha plus Corvash. I'll go use in PvP real quick. Oops, probably not a good idea using on Revenge Battle, but then again, we're running on every day on Guild Wars, so we might as well give it a shot. It'll be good practice for tomorrow anyways. But yeah, oh, oops, I just used the exact same team again, didn't I? I hate that. When you switch your team to a different thingy, It doesn't actually save it, only if you do it in the PvP menu. So never mind, let me go win out with this real quick, then I'll go do my my brown team. Alright, we'll go explode, get Dragon Soul down. Yeah, it memorizes what team you last used, not what team you last looked at. And I always make that mistake. Okay, we'll go into that one. Get a Dragon Soul down. Get a Word Breaker down. Unless he gives us alignment, which he doesn't. Oh, well, he gives us a skull. I guess we'll take it. It's only 1 damage, but we get the extra turn effect, which gives him extra stats. We get a Fair Shara in there, kill out the highest one. Get a Dragon Soul in there, and that's match. Almost match, never mind. Oh, so that thing does count as your dragon too, so you do get that boost ratio, which is nice. Off the, if you happen to be using a Word Breaker with it for the Dragon Soul. And of course you can use Dragon Guard here, class 2. I'm currently using Archer. Oh, definitely not against that. Okay, can we find a real team? What is this? I'm actually just going to repick this. Let me guess, it's the exact same team except it's a revenge battle. Okay, fine. This is something that may be used, though. Since this is technically a team that could be run in Guild Wars, I guess we will face it. Unfortunately, we're fighting as a revenge battle, so hopefully we win. We have to get quite a bit if we do. But yes, Gorgotha, Corvash, Famine, Highforge. The base of the team is Gorgotha, Corvash. Everything else from there is just supporting troops. I have Highforge for the purpose of summoning. He can also stun some. And we have Famine for the purpose of draining. And combined with Corvash's stun and Highforge stun, even if they have immune to drain, they're still going to be fine. Because every single troop currently in the game, other than the boss and other than an invasion and raids, but as far as every player-owned troop in the game, there is currently no troop that has immune to mana drain that also has immune to stun. So everything that has immune to mana drain can be stunned at this current moment in time. They might eventually add one that has immune to stun, but currently there are 0 options that are capable of doing that. So do keep that in mind, and it does allow you to do things like this, where you can actually still get away with using a Famine. And of course, if you can't fit a Famine in there because you don't have a Famine, the other alternative is to go, let's see, this is a brown day, so you need either a brown-yellow or a brown-green that is decent. I mean, not brown-yellow, a brown-green or a brown-purple, either or even a brown-green-purple, which I believe is Yasmin, if I'm not mistaken. But any of those options under there, I wouldn't really go with most of the brown-purples, because most of them are like skull spammy kind of troops. I believe there's going to be a really good option coming in next patch with the new kingdom. There's going to be a nice option for brown purples that are related to this Guild War Day that will fit into that slot very nicely if you don't have a Famine. But as of currently, I guess you'd kind of use a brown green instead then. Normally the first thing that comes to mind is Self-Aiding Mora, though it doesn't really work that well. I'm trying to think of another alternative. Can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but there are definitely things that you can put there. If worst came to worst, you can even just put Hero Class there, using something like the War and Peace weapon, because that's really easy to obtain, and pretty much everyone has that as a option. Yeah, we'll go move that over. That gives us Famine, and of course we'll be using this to drain them. And even if every single thing on his team had immune to mana drain, he would not actually have any of them immune to mana drain, because the entire team is stunned. The main thing we'll take out in this case would probably be the Dawnbringer, because out of everything he has, that's the biggest threat. I don't want him constantly barriering. He also does a lot of damage out of it, especially since the boost ratio is off a yellow. We have 2 yellows on our team. And this is something that could be used on Guild War Day, so I guess it's actually good that we're testing against this, because this could be the actual battle we have next tomorrow. I don't think most people said that on this particular day, though. For Brown Day, or I think for that defend team in Guild Wars, I think most people opt to do that on Green Day, if I'm not mistaken, is the day that most people run that. Okay, we'll go throw that down, get a Corvash, get the Drain there again, get a Gorgotha back down, get a Highforge. But the whole core of this team is just keep spamming Gorgotha and Corvash, and you should be fine. Just whatever your utilities are. You, of course, want to have a Summoner if you can, and this is just for extra damage or draining or other utility that you want to put there. I just happen to use a Famine because it works out nicely. I will kill that out. And he shouldn't get all of his mana up. I actually killed that first because there's no way he's going to get full mana. And he doesn't. And now all we have to do is kill this thing out. This team does get a little bit slow, but it's really consistent at winning. I think I have somewhere around like a 98% win rate or something with this in Guild Wars. Somewhere around there. It normally scores pretty low, like 9,100, 9,200. But its win rate is so high that I just never want to replace it, because it just works so well already. And as I mentioned, the only replacement I might make to it is eventually replacing out Famine with something in the New Kingdom, with whatever Doom Skulls do. Not quite sure what exactly that'll be, but it might be worth using on a brown day. Because I believe a lot of stuff in Next Kingdom are brown and purple oriented. I forgot to double check the colors. And they could, of course, change the colors. But I do recall there being a few of them. You had that brown team, but mine is Famine. Or, I mean, you have that brown team, but mine is Famine. What can you replace Famine with? Sure, I'll go look at options. Because I didn't really explain many. I keep wanting to say Grapple Pot, but that actually doesn't work because she doesn't have brown. Normally, that's why I use as a Famine alternative. In almost every team I ever use, Grapple Pot is basically the Famine alternative. Even though it's a completely different mechanic, it's still normally what you replace him with due to the value. Though, unfortunately, for Brown Guild War days, that is not possible. So, what was it again? Brown red? No, we needed either a brown green or a brown purple. Oh, Diviner. You can use Diviner. I completely forgot about that because she didn't actually exist when I first built that team. But yeah, Diviner. You would only be filling it into Gorgoltha, but Gorgoltha is a pretty important thing to be filling it into. You can use a Diviner to constantly fill yellow. You can also use it to cleanse your team, magic buff your team, and enchant your team, which are all really good mechanics. So yeah, I guess Diviner would be what you would use. Also, I don't believe her damage that she does to herself is a penalty in Guild Wars. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I don't believe you get penalized for the damage she does to herself at all. So yeah, I guess Diviner, pretty cheap. Ketris you could use, though that's extremely expensive. It's a mythic. Salvani Mora, as I mentioned, though you already have Gorgoltha, so you got that covered. Yasmin, I mentioned. Yasmin, if you happen to have it, covers every single color within the team, so it could be an option. And that's about it. Most of the other brown greens. And as I mentioned, for weapons, mainly just War and Peace would be what you would use, because it hits all enemies, decent value, gains that little bit of attack, particularly in earlier game Guild Wars would be nice. Other than that, yeah, that's about it. Dragotar is decent, but it can't be used unless your whole team was dragons, and I don't think you can build a whole team of dragons on brown day unless you were using like 3 Dragotars with something else. Which I guess technically you could get away with earlier on in the game, though I would not advise it. As far as brown purples, most of them are skull oriented. As far as options, Elamagrim wouldn't be horrible. If you weren't going High Forge, you could go Corrupt Sorceress and instead replace High Forge with a different damage source that wasn't a summoner, and then instead use Corrupt Sorceress as a summoner. Drake Rider wouldn't be horrible, though not really the best of options. Keeper of Souls also wouldn't be horrible due to its 50% chance to summon something. Same as Cerberus, though their effects aren't really that useful. Skull spamming in Guild Wars normally isn't advised, even if you're using Gorgoltha, just because it can backfire. And this thing, it got a Devour chance nerf. It's only a 40% these days. And it's a higher chance that you won't get to Devour than you will, so it's normally not worth going for. Magmus isn't too horrible if you needed to go put in a team, particularly since it has Impervious. Good last slot to put in. Fair Shara, if you have it, wouldn't be horrible, though you would need to make sure you have another Soul Gainer if you do go the Fair Shara route. So you'd have to replace out something else. And as I mentioned, Yasmin. Yeah, that's pretty much all the options. I don't think there was any weapons that work. Oh, duh! You can use Black Manacle. You can just go Black Manacle. I was just saying how annoying this 20% chance to Devour is. It's very rare that you'll get to Devour, but whenever you get to Devour, it's pretty much just an auto win, assuming you actually hit something that can be devoured. But yeah, Black Manacle has a decent amount of AoE damage. On top of that, it also has a 20% chance to Devour, and if you even get one of those, you just got ahead a huge amount in your battle. So yeah, that's another good alternative if you have absolutely nothing else to use. Really good to have. 802 Dragotars. That is a lot of Dragotars. Have they explained what the Doom Skull is going to do? To my knowledge, no, they have not. Though my speculation on it is it's going to be very similar to how it is in Puzzle Quest, in that it explodes everything around the skull and amplifies the amount of damage your skulls do. How much they amplify it by will probably be different than Puzzle Quest because they need to scale it to Gems of War, and how they... and the other effect should pretty much be the same. It will accumulate, it will basically explode everything around the skull that you take, and it will accumulate 70% of the mana. So basically, it's an explosion around the Doom Skull when you take the Doom Skull. Additionally, you can destroy the Doom Skull, and it will also trigger it. I'm not sure if that's exactly what the mechanic will be, but if it's how it is in Puzzle Quest, that's basically how it will function. So yeah, we'll just have to see. But I assume it's very, very similar to how it is in Puzzle Quest. Hey, if they're adding that, I wonder if they're eventually going to add wild cards to Gems of War. Probably not, because wild cards only existed when there was like 4 or 5 different colors on the board. I think when there's 6 different colors on the board, wild cards would be pretty dysfunctional. It would be really, really broken, the kind of combos you could get with it, with that many colors on the board. Queen of Damage? Oh, I was just naming that as the title because we were running it for Guild Wars. Queen of Damage is Queen Titania. She has the highest damage of any queen in the game. And we were just messing around with her in Guild Wars. This wasn't the team I used. Though you technically could get away with this if you don't mind using 3 colors instead of 4. But yeah, we were using her for Guild War Day, so that's why I named the title that. I just like having different titles for all my things. And I'm starting to run out of titles because we've done 44 Guild Wars. And there's only so many titles you can set. We've done 44 Guild War weeks. And I've still somehow managed to do a completely unique title for every single one of them. Which means we've made, what's 44 times, actually, let's see, it's 43 times 6 plus 1. So, what is that number? We've managed to, for Guild Wars alone, to create 459 unique titles, with not repeating a single one once. So, I'm kind of running out of titles. Is why it's called Queen of Damage, because we were just using Queen Titania. We'll go throw that down. But yeah, there's no troop called Queen of Damage. That'd be cool though if there was. But she already exists, so we don't need one. They can't really make any of the queens any stronger than that. He did not go for his damage yet, though unfortunately he just removed Queen Titania the first slot. We'll go throw that down. That's a really strange team. What even is this team? He also keeps going to not cast Scion, which is kind of weird. He's going to help us too if he casts Dust Devil. Unfortunately, he didn't right there. I need him to cast Dust Devil. Can you please cast Dust Devil? It's actually going to help us because it will allow us to mana generate into our other Queen Titania that only needs a little bit of mana to get to full. So please use it. Please use it. Please use it. No. The one time I actually want the enemy to Dust Devil and it doesn't want to do it. There we go. Now I don't need him to do it, so he's probably going to do it now. Anyways, let's just go for the damage. Down it goes. Did you miss dungeons? I believe so. Or did I do it so quick that I already forgot? Let me see. I'm pretty sure we did it earlier. I think we did it right after Guild Wars, so I wouldn't forget. Normally on Guild Wars, I tend to remember it. Yeah, I already did dungeons. We did it right after Guild Wars like we normally do on Guild War days. It's a lot easier to remember on Guild War days, I feel like. Normally when I do raids or dungeons, I tend to forget it. I mean, raids or invasion. Because it can go for like an unknown amount of time. Whereas with Guild Wars, it always goes the exact same amount of time every single time, pretty much. Because you only ever have to do 5 battles. How long does 5 battles take can vary. But the whole premise of 5 battles is always the same. Whereas raids or invasions could be anywhere from like 4 battles to 14, depending on your luck or what happens. Just for fun, you should make a full team of queens. We have done that before. There isn't currently any extremely viable team of queens, but we could definitely go do it real quick. Let's go build a full team of queens. Surprisingly, I will not be using Queen Mab, though, I don't believe, even though she is one of the better queens. Because I don't think she's going to work in a full team of queens, because we're going to be going Queen Isabel. Let me see. Well, actually, here's everything we could use. So Queen Isabel, Queen Aurora, Queen... Oh, wait, never mind. I already have... Oh, I said Queen Isabel and then they even put Isabel in. I was like wondering, wait, why is the Queen Titania there? Okay, what are we missing? We need a brown queen. Oh, hold up. There's no queen currently in the game that uses brown. Naga Queen denies brown, but there's currently no... interesting, I never even realized that. There's no queen in the game that uses brown. Interesting. I never paid attention to that. Well, I guess we go minus brown banner and hope one is good for this team. I kind of just want to go double Queen Titania at this point. What else do we really need on this team? Well, we need mana generation. Problem is none of the queens are good at mana generating. I guess just for fun, because she just came out, let's use this Widow Queen on our team. That doesn't really help the team much, but actually we'd probably be better off just with a second Queen Aurora. But let's go and use her, because she is the new queen that came out this week. Might as well. Now I need to find where the minus brown banner is, since no queen is brown. The kings are brown. Actually, a lot of the kings use brown. I guess that's the kind of trade-off. The kings have brown, but the queens do not. Okay, let's just go this, I guess. A bunch into red, a bunch into yellow. Not exactly the best of colors, but it should work. Hopefully. We'll see. Obviously not the best of teams, but we can only go so far using every single troop that has the word queen in it. So yeah, we're using Queen Isabel, Queen Titania, Queen Aurora, and the Spider Queen, or the Widow Queen, I mean. I always call it the Spider Queen. Actually, there was already a troop called the Spider Queen, isn't there? Well, close enough. The actual Spider Queen's pretty useless, though. The one specifically called the Spider Queen. Oh, why did I give him that? I even saw that as I was taking it, fail. I saw that. I just didn't catch it in time. Okay, let's go and just go all the way into Queen Isabel at this point. And she's just going to buff into herself. She's tied at the highest attack, and she's in first slot, so might as well. I'm going to take that skull just because Might as well. Let's go get Dragon Soul in for a lot of damage too because he's using a pure Dragon team. He's actually getting a lot of value right now. Let me go drop this. Oh, he froze me though. Well, I still want it. We'll go grab all that. We're not frozen on brown though if we could get an extra turn on brown since we don't use it. It's one of the few instances when not using a color is actually good. If you are up against a team that has freeze and they're specifically spamming a color, so let's say they're spamming blue and they're using a freeze team like with Queen Mab on it, one strategy that you can actually do is make sure you use a team against it that has no blue on it. This way they cannot actually freeze you on blue and they'll be creating a bunch of blues and then you won't actually be able to get frozen on it and you can kind of go down that way and win out the battle. Okay, we are in a really bad situation right now, mainly because of that freeze. Just completely devastated us. Because a lot of the things we have on this team are dependent on not being frozen. And we were frozen, so that didn't work out. What do we even need to take here? Let's take the brown we don't use. Actually, we barely even have any options. I might as well do that. So we'll get all that. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't buff itself, so we're going to lose eventually just out of the fact that we can't do anything. Go throw that down, get the manas that we need for both of them. Come on, we need one more little take. I think I'll just kill out Queen Aurora at this point and hope we get a good summon out of it. Before I do, though, I should probably get one more buff in. So let me go throw this on green or something just to make sure it's populated on the board. And now we kill it out. So we'll go kill this out, hopefully get a good summon out of it. That actually isn't horrible. There's one reason why that isn't horrible. He summons a giant spider, and that summons a summon that can summon. So with that summons a summon, we can then summon a summon that can then get destroyed by the Widow Queen, which will then summon a random Zolkiri troop off that summon that this giant spider summons. So a lot of summons. But let it begin. So we'll summon that summon. And now that summon will summon a summon that we can then kill out to summon a summon. If that makes sense. If you follow everything we just said. But yeah. We're summoning a summon that can summon a summon that we can then kill out to summon a summon. Words. Okay, anyways. Let's go and get our summon up. Go throw that down. Go and throw that on blue. And there's the summon off the summon that we can now summon with the summon. If we can ever get its mana to summon. And we can go replace out that summon with a summon. What do we need? Go take a purple. So we can kill out the summon with a summon, which will also bring it to first slot. So we'll go do that. And we got Dogofer again! Well then. That is interesting. We'll go take that. What do we need here? We'll go. I might as well get Dolkifer at this point. We'll try for the purple. Got it. And he'll summon there. Well, what a battle. So now we have double giant spider. So now we have summons that we can do when our Dolkifer dies or anything dies. And now we'll go replace, I guess, the second giant spider. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to replace out Dolkifer so that the purple can go directly into her. If we can actually get that to work. Not sure. Probably not. But we'll give it a shot. Okay, we'll go take the blue to brown there. See if we can get a giant spider or something down. Up, and then I will summon into that slot where we originally summoned. And then we will summon a summon off that summon. And it's the Spider Queen. Now that's the actual Spider Queen. The one that's called Spider Queen that I keep calling her instead. But yeah, this is the Widow Queen, that's the Spider Queen. Though if I ever say Spider Queen, I probably mean the Widow Queen in most situations. Because I know for sure I'm going to mess that up in the future. Accidentally calling her the Spider Queen. Because she is basically the Spider Queen. This troop is decent in early game though. It's a really cheap full mana drain. There aren't too many things that you can use as a newer player that has a full mana drain, and she's one of the few options. That and Cockatrice are normally the main two that newer players tend to use, because they're both, actually I believe the Cockatrice is rare rarity, and that's an ultra rare, so they're both really easy to obtain full mana drains. Okay. But yeah, we just won with a whole team of summons, pretty much. This entire team was created basically off of just the Widow Queen. Well, this happened because we killed our Queen Aurora. This was originally a full Queen team, if any of you are just getting here now. We started with a full Queen team because someone wanted me to go use a full Queen team. Then everything died. We killed our Queen Aurora, got Dolkifer. Dolkifer created Giant Spider. Giant Spider created Little Spiders. Little Spider created, like another Giant Spider off of her casting. It's just been a gigantic summoning line since then. And, yeah, that's happened. This battle's obviously taken forever, but it's definitely a lot of fun, that is for sure. Also, I'm probably ending out the stream after this battle, so if any of you guys have any other questions I might have missed, definitely go and leave them. Because we're not going to top this battle. We'll go and kill out... Hey, we finally got her again, so let's go kill out our giant spider that we don't need there for a bunch of damage. And we'll just go disable that, drain it out. Make sure it gets less value, and now all we need to do is poke it with anything and we'll be good to go. And there's a skull in that. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay. Oh, you've got to be double kidding me. It summoned into something that has a 100% chance to revive. Wow. Okay, that's not good. Because now I have to kill him twice in order to kill him once. So we'll go do that. I need to go get all of our mana up. I do not have an extra turn for this, unfortunately. Oh, yes, I do. I can go take that. It's not full mana, though. I need to try to, what do we need here? I guess we'll just take a skull for now. So we'll throw this. Throw that at it. Kill this out. After he pokes it once. Throw this at it. And it just summoned a giant spider. I mean, it just summoned a spider spawn into his spider spawn. What even? But yeah, we have to kill him twice, which is unfortunate. Luckily, after that, there's no possible way he could revive any more times. So once we kill him additional time, he will stay dead. So we'll go throw that down. And he stays webbed because of that weird glitch that happens when some things die. Hopefully they're fixing that next patch. They did mention that they're fixing quite a few bugs over the next 2 patches. But of course, normally when they fix bugs, they sometimes also create bugs. So we'll see exactly what happens when that occurs. But let's go and take a skull, I guess. Barely does any damage, though, because the spider does so little. And at this point, there's no way he could possibly live, and we'll just kill ourselves. And there we go. And now we finished the team without having any of the same troops. That battle just went from a full queen team to a full spider team by the end of the battle. The entire team was spiders. It went from all queens to all spiders. Interesting. Anyways, that's the Widow Queen. The Queen of Saves. I know, she saved us like crazy there. Really nice. Of course, it took us forever to win, and it isn't really that viable, but she did save us pretty well. That is, to say the least. Shegra, a queen that uses brown. Shegra is female. I don't think it's considered a queen in this game, though, lore-wise, but it is considered a female. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a queen. The only thing that's, I believe, considered a queen that doesn't specifically state queen is Amnesia. Amnesia is the Daemon Queen. I think there might have been one other one that, lore-wise, is also a queen that doesn't specifically say that it's a queen. But yeah, I believe Amnesia... There might be one other, but I know Amnesia is one of them. Even though it doesn't specifically state that she is. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading off for tonight. We will be back same time as always tomorrow night. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention one thing. 1 second. The Vault Rewards now is not the same like an event. The Vault Rewards are slightly... They're the exact same rewards, but the one thing lacking from the rewards right now is the extra chance at Vault Keys. The Vault Keys are still there, but during the Vault event, it's a higher chance. So, it's basically the same drop table, but the slightly lower chance of getting a Vault Key. That's the only real difference, so not that big a change. And as far as what Marcelo said, Gorgotha, Dawnbringer, Bard Clash, Isabella, and Furnace. Yeah, we've run that before. Yeah, it is really, really strong. There's a lot of things with Isabella, or Ishbala, I mean, that are super strong right now. But anyways, guys, sorry for that, for the few questions I missed. But yes, hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back same time as always, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1.5 hours prior to now. We are also going to be going over the new Mythic that's coming out this Friday, so don't forget about that. It's not anything too over the top, but it's a nice utility that you may want to have, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, it looks pretty average for the most part. But it is going to be the best submerging troop in the game, so it does have that kind of aspect going for it. But since Submerge is so weak, I don't think it's going to be very popular at this current moment in time, but it might be in the future. But yeah, don't forget, new Mythic this Friday, and Fair Shara in Event Keys next Monday. A very low chance, of course, of getting him, but it is possible, so do keep that in mind if you want to save for it, or, you know. But do keep in mind, yeah, between this week and next week. This week has the Spider Queen, which we've been messing around with. It's mainly used for its web mechanic and almost nothing else. And, of course, next week will be Fair Shara, so if you want to go get that. But anyways, guys, I will see you all later. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And goodbye, everyone.